Good evening, Your Honour. My name is Josh Lee Kok Tong. I'm from the Ministry of Law. I represent my client, Ms. Ann Mui, in today's proceedings. And today we will be talking about how to balance dance as well as work in your life. And Your Honour, in that regard, I would like to propose that my client begin with her questions. Thank you very much.
It's the best ever introduction. Like the best ever. The
Oh my gosh.
entertaining ever. Okay, let's start. For the past interviews, right? We were going to make this as short as possible. My aim is to keep it to 20 minutes, so short and succinct.
Sounds good.
Summarize you can have a summary of your dance journey and how long have you been dancing?
Okay, I don't have to do that in a lawyer way, right?
No.
Finally. Yes, relax. Okay. So I've been doing popping for 11 years. Yeah. I started in 2007. What's the next question?
How long is it? Okay.
Yeah.
He has answered very, very short.
You say short and succinct, right?
Yeah, people will be like, so at first I did this, then I did that, this and did that.
I
like
see.
very
Cut
detailed.
to the chase.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then what is your day job and how long have you been juggling? Work and dance?
So I work in the Ministry of Law. A lot of technical jargon here, but I work as a legal policy officer. Basically, what I do is to change the law to fit the government's policy objectives. I've been in this role for about a year and a half. Previously, I was in private practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was actually a private lawyer in the past, but now I'm a government lawyer. Yeah. On the side also, I run an online publication. This is on my personal thing. I run an online publication on the use of technology in law because I'm also interested in technology like AI. Yeah, so that's something that I do on the side. And I also dance also lah. Until now, I still keep actively practicing in dance. How long I've been balancing work and dance? That's a good question. I think it goes back even beyond like work. I've been doing this balancing thing since I was studying. So I entered uni in 2011. So since then till now, it's always been a constant balancing, constant juggle lah. Yeah, and I've learned a lot from that lah.
So what's the difference like from uni and work compared to now? Working and dancing. I mean, it's kind of different, right? The energy level.
It is. So one is that I think the biggest thing is that in uni, right, even though you are busy, if not more busy than work sometimes, the thing is that because you are just given the deadline and then everything else in between is just basically you're free to as to how you want to manage your time. So there's more flexibility in how you want to balance things out. Right? Whereas work is a bit more fixed in that you need to appear in the office every day. There's a certain amount of things that you need to submit by or you need to do every day. So the amount of time that's left is very short. Then because in work you also need to settle things like other activities, meet friends. I need to do my online publication and stuff. So the only time that's available to do that is at night. So it's basically a matter of in a week how many nights do you have. And then sometimes ad hoc things also happen, like you need to run some errands for your parents, or you need to just settle some ad hoc stuff. Then in that sense the night's already taken up. So it's just trying to juggle, fit in dance amidst all of this. That's the main difference between juggling dance and studies and dance and work. Wait, okay.
I paranoid. Can you imagine if my
That was an advertisement break. Okay.
Whoa. Okay, so then after that I'm curious about a lot of things already. So
Okay.
How did you decide to pursue law as your career?
How did I decide?
Because I think the general Singaporean doesn't have many lawyer friends.
Okay.
Unless they are a lawyer.
True lah,
especially in the dance
lawyers.
scene, you know.
Yeah.
Because everyone, you know, when they focus on dance, then you know they're great suffer, and usually, you know, we are not so high flying in terms of like, you know, studies, nor our careers. Like I mean, like, some of us are also high achievers, but high achievers usually they already like stop dancing usually. Yeah, so just like want to understand, how did you decide to pursue law?
Okay, for that one, to be honest, I did not decide to pursue law. When I finished JC and I was in NS, then that's when uni applications start coming in, right? You need to apply. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, because at first I wanted to do medicine, but my grades were too sucky to go into medicine.
Medicine and law got such a big difference.
They need straight A's lah. I didn't have straight A's lah. Then my dad was like, okay, your English is pretty good, so a lawyer can make money, so why not you just be a lawyer? Okay lor. Being a blur kid at the time, then you just like, okay, let's try. So I applied to NUS and SMU. NUS didn't reject me.
Look out, yo.
Then SMU, I went for the interview, I went for the test, and they accepted me. So that's where I found myself lah. In my first year in school, I really struggled, because I wasn't sure whether that thing was for me. But somehow, over the break between the first year and second year, something clicked, and things started to make much more sense for me in year 2. So I decided that I wanted to, I can and should continue law lah. And I thought it was very meaningful, because law it allows me to understand like how society is structured and how what it's made out of. And it allows me to see like at the fundamental level, what are the things that make up society and how we want to shape it to become better in the future. I found it really meaningful. And also like reading the judges' judgments, I found that there's a lot of wisdom inside, so there's things that we can learn from it lah. So that's why so that's basically why I want to be a lawyer. But I'm still truly finding my path. I think right now I want to go into technology, but specifically the regulation of technology. So basically, simple words, shaping of technology to make society a better place.
I feel like that was a speech. Wow.
Yeah.
But like at any point in time, were you like, because you were dancing also, right? So, you know, law as even a subject or a course, it's quite rigorous. So have you ever at any point been worried about how it affects dance?
Okay. Yes, I have. But before I go to the example, right, let me just share something. The reason why I continue dance to this day, I started dancing because I wanted to get girls. Wink.
So honest.
But obviously, in the end, I didn't get my girlfriend through dance. Ha! Joke.
So, you know, things may not work out as planned.
Yeah, but as I progressed through the dance scene, progressed through my dance journey, then I met more people in the dance scene, like especially the popping scene in Singapore. What really struck me was how everyone was really very friendly, very respectful towards each other, very humble, and very much willing to work hard to basically put Singapore on the world map. That is really what like inspired me the most. And between like JC and NS and before I got into uni, right, being a dancer really shaped me into who I am, because before that I was very lost. So I may be a lawyer or I may be legally trained on the outside, but inside I think like a dancer. It really made me who I am, like the person I am today. And that's why I believe that I want to continue dance, because without dance, right, I'm just an ordinary law student, I'm just an ordinary lawyer, and dance is the thing that really makes me special and unique, and that's why I feel like I really need to keep it. If not I'll just be a robot. Like a soulless robot. But actually, as in popping, I'm already a robot, so what?
Soulful robot.
Soulful robot, okay. Yeah. So I mean, going to the example, right? There was one example that really concerned me. From year 1 to year 2, I was convinced that I could somehow find a balance between dance and work and studies. But when it came to year 3, there was this opportunity that opened to me, which was to join like a international mooting competition. This is for law lah. So what that means is like it's a case competition. So you represent the school, you go overseas, then you moot, which is like a fake court trial. Then you in front of a judge, and you just present your case. But it's a fake scenario lah. It's just to practice your advocacy skills. With a team, and that one was a very long commitment. It was about a year-long commitment.
Oh, so long.
Yeah, and based on what seniors and my friends told me, right, it was something that like you will basically eat, sleep, shit that mood lah. That competition. Yeah. Somehow you have to balance your schoolwork, right? Yeah. So it's really quite difficult, and like my friends basically told me straight up that, hey, your dance might take a hit lah.
Yeah.
And I was really concerned because that was the time when I also really wanted to push my dance even further.
Yeah.
So I spoke to some like dance friends, but in the end I decided, okay, I'll still go for the competition, because it's gonna give me opportunities to learn that I would never otherwise have gotten.
Yes.
But in the end, right, even though I went for the competition, I still managed to find a time to balance. And I believe that this is where like this mentality comes in, which is that if you want something bad enough, you will find time, you will make priority to go and get it. Yeah. So I remember like one favorite memory was we were in the competition room where we were discussing stuff. It was 3:30 a.m. in the morning. And all of us brain dead already. Just wanted to like
3:30 a.m.
Yeah. Then we still had to discuss until like, because the deadline was at 8 a.m. the next day. Yeah. So we just had to chill out. But at 3:30, all of us were like brain dead. So we had a half an hour rest. My friends went to go and get food. For me, I went to the back. I just started popping. Push up, press no. I cannot tahan anymore. Yeah. But it was cool because half an hour later, I was sweaty and all that, but my mind was refreshed. And I went back to the room. And I think like it's a small thing, like it's just half an hour, right? But it really made a difference, though. Like it made me like realize that if I really want to make time for it, I still can. Yeah, so that's the spirit lah.
That's determination. And then I remember I think the first time, no, not really the first time, but when I first started like really battling, so like I mean I've done since like 2007 also, but like when I really wanted something out of like dance, it was like 5 years ago maybe. And then when you remember there was Natasha Studios?
Yes.
And then Josh always win one.
Huh?
Josh and Kai. I can't remember like.
Shout out, we got cute faces, y'all.
Yeah, oh my god.
Hey Kai, hello.
I will never forget the cheesy.
Kai, to put it out there, I'm still the cutest, yeah?
Kai, you can comment below. It's okay. Always edit this out.
Kai, it's okay, I still love you. Okay.
And the thing is that every time you came out to battle, whether it's usually it was all style at that point in time. I think it would be like, God, Josh confirm win one.
No lah, please lah, walao eh.
Yeah, actually 99% of the time is he win.
No.
So like, but I remember that time you won R16, the fight, no, like the one in Korea, the international one, second place. And do you know that one really inspired me? I was like, oh, if a Singaporean can do it, means I can do it, but I'm not proper. So like, yeah, so that was when you were studying still?
I was studying. I just finished my second year.
Okay, yeah, I'm very curious, like, can you share like the journey to R16? Like, there are a lot of like, usually when you dance there are a lot of doubts when you are in battles and stuff, and especially on such a big stage with like a lot of people from other countries who are also famous, and like they may or may not be better than you depending on how you think, right? So what was your mindset during that battle?
Okay. The journey up to the World Finals itself was really, really unexpected lah. That year was a particularly tough year in terms of my studies, because even though it was year 2, the amount of work that we got was like way more than year 1. Yeah, because they expected you to not really know your stuff. So they threw you a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
At the same time, we were setting up SMU Funk Movement in school, so together with Jerry. Again, very tough because it was a probation year. We were starting from scratch. We had to do production on our own. You know, everything was basically our own. Class, no budget. That time, no Nick Ho, no Fong. So I taught the class, Jerry taught the class, that kind of thing. I was also planning for overseas community service project. So we went to India.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then we came back, then R16, then went to Korea. Yeah. So that year was really particularly tough. But to be honest with you, I don't regret the journey at all. It was really, really fulfilling. And I think one thing that really somehow I think subconsciously helped me was that, like, when I went to the community service project, like, somehow it just took me away from the stresses of Singapore, and I began to see things in a quite different way. Like, you know, the material things that we get are not so important anymore, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I think that helped me to, like, relax and calm down. And then at the same time, I went to Korea before that on my own. And I really learned a lot from their spirit, and basically their can-do spirit and their willingness to just push past all your physical limitations, to achieve whatever they want. So I came back, I trained really hard. Now the journey to R16, so that's the journey to R16. When I was at Korea at the World Finals, you asked me I'm nervous, of course, damn nervous. Never been that nervous before. Especially, like, you know, people are watching.
Yeah.
And if you just you know, do whatever you can at top 8 and then just drop out, you just be forgotten, you see.
Yes.
So there's that little bit of pressure that I knew was there. Yeah, and I didn't want to waste the opportunity, because how often do you get to go to World Finals, right? Yeah, but at the same time, you are dancing against people like full-time dancers. Like, you know, there's one there, there's Popping BB there, all these names that you watch on video, and now you're just like in front of them. Like, yeah. But when I went there, and I was in the dressing room just before we step out onto the stage, right, I just told myself, really, there's nothing to lose. I'm the underdog. I really am the underdog.
Yes.
Yeah, there is no one else who is really under me already. I'm the underdog really.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So when I thought of that, and I really appreciated that fact, like, I just thought of going there to have fun. And then I went onto the stage. I did the cute thing. I put my flag there, I put my iPad there, and people are laughing at me. But I just soak in the atmosphere, because it's like, you don't see the audience, just bright lights shining on you. And then you just soak in the atmosphere, just like, wow, I'm thankful I'm on this stage. Then you start, then somehow things happen. Yeah. Then I remember, like, when it came to the finals, just before the finals, I ran to the toilet. Then I pinched myself very hard. I look at the mirror, I pinch myself. Is this real? Ow, pain. Yeah, quite real.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You were that nervous.
Really damn nervous. Really damn nervous. Yeah, but that's it, it's an experience. Yeah, but to be honest with you, right, that might be the highlight of my dance journey so far. Like, one of the biggest highlights in the dance journey so far. But it was also a big learning experience for me, because when I reached that height, when I came back, the biggest battle was facing me. The biggest battle was the mental battle, which is, you come back, suddenly you feel that everyone is expecting you to just be the next tier already,
correct.
And they're expecting you to perform magic consistently every time, and that really affected me quite a bit. So it required me to grow and mature quite a bit more before I could get over that.
I understand.
Yeah, so I think all in all, no regrets for the journey. But together with the win, there was also, together with that victory, there was also challenges that not just before it, but after it also.
Yeah, of course. It's never smooth sailing all the way. Okay. Wow. It's going to be a Josh documentary.
Oh no. Everyone's gonna say, take out sleeping bag. Yeah.
You can watch this when you're almost sleeping.
Hey, no.
Halfway through then.
Continue tomorrow morning.
So, like, okay, then back to your job, right? What, I think you've covered, like, no, you haven't covered, like, what's your typical schedule like? In a day, like, typical day, typical week. Anything you want to cover?
In a day?
With dance, like, in it, like,
right.
So how?
Right. In a day, okay, let's look at the week first lah. So week 7 days, right? Generally I try and dance 2 times or 3 times. Yeah. On Sundays will be once. Then I don't want to train the day immediately after, so it will be on Tuesdays. Then in between Tuesdays and Sundays, normally it's a Thursday that I'll train. Every time I train is about 2 to 3 hours lah, but probably 2. Yeah. For a work day, my work day starts at 9, but sometimes I go into office at 10. But let's say I don't have dance, I work normally to about 9 or 10. Yeah, which is actually pretty okay, because my friends are still working in their law firms till about 2 or 3 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, or sometimes 4 or 5. Then they just go back, they sleep for 1 hour, they come back again. Yeah, so I have it easy lah, in a sense. It's just discipline to keep carrying on.
Yeah.
But then on days of dance, I knock off around 7:30 or 8. Then I'll go to SMU, then I practice lor. Yeah, so that is really a typical day for me.
So,
Yeah.
like, okay, on days you do not dance, right? You sometimes will work later than usual. And then on days you dance, obviously you'll go home like late also because of dance.
Yeah.
Then do you ever feel like super tired?
Of course.
And then what do you do? What's your life hack for tiredness?
Wow, to be honest, there's no life hack for tiredness. There is no life hack for tiredness. I mean, aside from like, okay, the one life hack is really, you know what you want, and you know that you really want to achieve it. You will just prioritize it over everything else, or you'll put aside everything else to make sure that you're able to perform what you need to do.
Yeah.
That includes putting aside your social media, putting aside your phones, making sure that you sleep, get enough sleep, get enough rest. I can't stress that more. So that you're fresh for the next day. Then because you're fresh for the next day, your mood is improved.
Yes.
Then when you go for dance, it's also more effective.
Correct.
Yeah, and also before dance, always when I walk from my office to school, I'll always be like quiet, because I'll be planning about what I want to achieve from that dance session. So having objectives and having goals is important also lah. Yeah. But to be honest, right, like everyone else, it's still a learning journey for me. Yeah, because there are also people who say that if you don't feel like dancing that day, just don't dance. But I feel that with the very limited time I have, I can't just forgo that dance session like that.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm trying to find a balance, like when should I not dance when I don't feel like it, so that I don't waste that session.
Yeah.
And then I can dance, when I really feel like it, so it's more effective, versus the amount of time that I don't have.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to find that balance, and to be honest, there is no answer. What I can say is this, like, the flip side of balance, right? Or the other word for balance is sacrifice.
Yeah.
And basically, we need to recognize that every time we want to do well in 1, 2 or more things, right? It will always entail a sacrifice in another thing.
Correct.
And you just have to be content with that law. You can't shoot, the furthest like you would if you just focus on one thing.
Yes.
But just be content and recognize that it's an ongoing journey lah.
Yeah.
Which is why, to me, like, the fundamental answer is to never stop dancing. Never give up what you want to achieve. Be it dancing, drawing, arts, meeting with your family, etc., etc. If you want to do your best at it, right, you just need to keep going on.
Yeah.
And if you want to balance it with something else, accept that it's a balance, but you just keep going, keep pushing. That's it. Yeah.
And okay, in terms of juggling, what is the greatest challenge so far?
One.
In terms of the juggling, not like the journey, but like juggling it.
Right. The juggling itself, the greatest challenge, I think, is the mind. Like, you will start to question and doubt yourself. That is the most painful thing. Yeah. Say, for example, I want to go and dance today. I brought my shoe bag along, my change of clothes. But then at 7 p.m, I realized that there is still work to be done. And if, technically speaking, I could finish it tomorrow morning, but it would be better if I finished it now.
Yeah.
Then, so there are two different kinds of scenarios. One is I drop my stuff and I go for training. But at training, you will constantly be questioning yourself, like, maybe I should be doing work. I don't feel so good going for dance. That affects your dance training.
Correct.
Right?
It does.
But at the same time, you reverse time, you go towards the other scenario, decide to stay and do the work. But in your mind, you won't be able to concentrate.
Yes.
Because you're always like, yeah, wow, I really hope to dance, man. Wow, this work sucks. This job sucks.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this to myself? Why can't I should have just gone. I could have done this tomorrow morning. So either way, right, your mind still continues to eat at you. And that's, I think, my greatest challenge. Yeah. But throughout all of this, you know, regardless of which direction, which decision you make, as long as at the end of the day, the decisions that you make to go for dance versus the decisions that you go to carry on with your work, they kind of like balance out. I think that's fine because it's sustainable. Yeah, the thing to remember is that, again, it's a long-term battle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
and you just gain in maturity from that, no? Yeah.
So, talking about the greatest challenge comes what you like. That's why you keep continuing to dance and work at the same time, right? Even though it's tired. So what's your favourite thing about juggling it?
What's the favourite thing about juggling it?
To be the gain out of it.
What is the greatest gain? So, wow, must be greatest. Got a few.
Can.
Yeah.
Anything you like about
it has to be a few. It has to be a big satisfaction. If not, you wouldn't find it worthwhile.
Correct.
Right? I would think that it is at the end of a long period of time and you look back at yourself and you're like, yes, I've really improved. But your improvement would not have been possible if you had given up one way or another.
Correct.
Yeah, then you realize that it's this whole like sustainable loop that you have going on that really allow you to reach where you are today. Not as far that you wish you could have been, but still you made progress.
Yes.
I think that's one of the biggest sources of like satisfaction and motivation.
Agreed.
The second thing is that I set myself a goal in dance, which is to like inspire people around me in terms of like showing them that it can be done. You can work and you can dance at a pretty high level and it's possible. You just shouldn't give up. And that's the example that I want to set for everyone, including myself.
Yeah.
So I gain satisfaction from that. Yeah.
Telepathy. And then, so how long do you think you can sustain this lifestyle?
I don't know.
until you feel like you cannot anymore? Have you ever doubted, like, I think like tomorrow I will quit already. I think I can't do this anymore?
Oh yeah, recently there was one. Recently, like 1 or 2 months ago, there was one. So there's all these big challenges that come. Very thankful for like friends, my girlfriend also, and dance friends who like give me very wise advice and encourage me not to give up. Which I feel that is very important. In today's, like among many dancers, I feel that especially those who are trying to improve to do well in competitions, right? Everyone is competing, like, or rather everyone is working hard for themselves.
True.
Yeah, it's a very siloed, it's a very individual thing already. It's all about themselves. They say hi, you know, they interact, but ultimately it's all about themselves. But I feel that that shouldn't be the case. The reason why the community exists is so that when one of us is down, the rest of the community pull that person up together, then vice versa, right? Then the whole community grows together. The whole community is united and stays strong together. And I feel that that community is very important. So going back, right, when I had that down period, like having this support was really, really important. Like people told me, look, you just need to find yourself. You know, you might think this way, but actually it may not be that way. It may not be as bad as you think. And that really, really helps. But so going back further, how long I think I can sustain, I definitely want to try and sustain this for as long as possible. When I was early on in my dance, I told myself I want to keep dancing until my body cannot take it anymore. And I think until today, like that's still my goal. But the balance definitely will continue to shift because I had to struggle to find a new balance when I started work. Just as I had to struggle to find a balance when I started studying.
Correct.
I will definitely struggle to find another balance when I get married, when I have a family. Yeah, but that being said, again, the core is to realize that dance made me who I am today, and I wouldn't be here without dance. There are still missions that I want to achieve. There's still goals that I want to achieve, like being an example to others, spreading the values that I find represent the best of our dance community.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel that as long as these goals are still there, I will do my best to continue to, find that balance that's suitable for that period of time. Yeah. I don't need to be the best dancer, and I don't think I can be. Yeah, I want to be, but realistically speaking, there's only one best dancer. How many dancers are there? Millions of dancers, right? Probability wise, you're not going to be the best dancer, like really, really up there. But what I aim is really like to spread the values. And for this, like, I have 3 values lah: respect, humility, and discipline. And these are the values that I use to set up like SMU Funk Movement. And I feel that aside from just being the club's values, I've internalized them as my own values as well, and I want to be defined by them.
Yeah.
And similarly, because in turn these are the values that really make me like so inspired by our dance community in the first place a long time ago, and I want to keep that, spread that even more so that other people can also be inspired by the dance community. Yeah.
I feel like another speech has ended.
Oh no.
So I think we can go to the last thing.
Hi.
Which is, this video is for the young gen. So do you have any advice for them?
Okay, prepare another speech.
Prepare another 15 minutes. Do you want to refill your tea?
Refill your tea, take out potato chips. Go toilet, come back.
Wait, this is just too long. Pause and go toilet.
Yes, I do have some advice for the young generation, which ties back to what I've been saying lah, which is that today, many of us dancers, we keep dancing because we think that there's some tangible ideal that we want to achieve, and that tangible ideal can be a competition, right, like an achievement, an award, or it can be trying to achieve like a showcase.
Yes.
Ultimately, it's something tangible, but I hope that the younger generation can look past that and really look at the values that are important in street dance. So for that, I have 3 lah: respect, humility, and discipline. And one more thing that I also want to say is that today, our younger generation, including, actually not just the younger generation, it's a problem that's faced across generations. And the reason for that is this is the cause. We have everything that's at an instant now. It's at our fingertips, right? We want to order food, is there. We want to order transport, it's there. We want to order knowledge, is there, right? But that's given us the feeling of impatience. When we don't have direct answers to something, we tend to give up or just find an excuse to go a different direction. But that's not really the direction that you wanted to aim for. And 30, 40 years down the road, you realize that, hey, I'm so far from where I thought I could be. Yeah. But the thing that street dance really trains us is that discipline, that resilience to keep going and trying to find your own answers to a question that otherwise would never be answered. You can't go Google and start typing search like, how do I maintain a good dance? How do I be a good dancer? How do I maintain flow and connection in dance? This kind of tangible stuff is just an art.
Yes.
Right? How do I do the best art piece, for example? Google won't find the answers for you.
Correct.
But that's the very thing that street dance trains us. But unfortunately, a lot of us, we because we are so attuned by how instantaneous this entire society is, we just go for the easy wins.
Correct.
Yeah, and what's like achievable? Like I want to get I want to finish this showcase. I want to achieve this medal, but that's not all. We need to keep training hard. We need to keep going at it, even though it seems like there's no answer. One day we will find an answer, and in finding the answer, we will be resilient. We will be stronger. And I think that's what we need, not just in dance, but in society as a whole. Yeah.
I think Josh can be our next Prime Minister.
No.
Wow, really? I got the feeling I just watched a National Day rally. So what's next for that?
Practicing.
Everyone remember to vote for Josh. For next president. Yay! Okay, yes, we're done. Okay, this is a very abrupt thing. Yeah, thank you, Josh. Yay!
Thank you very much. Thank you, Anne.